Good evening and welcome to the Pratt Auditorium. My name is Carrie Swift and I'm the director of Conant Drama, along with my assistant director, Anne-Marie Oshiak. She's in the back wearing her stage manager hat tonight. We are very excited to be able to perform for you tonight. It's hard to believe our last show was well over a year and a half ago, so thank you for being here. We're sharing two brief shows for you tonight. First up is Granny Roxanne, which was written by Conant student Olivia Martin. We've had a ton of fun rehearsing and tweaking it. Granny Roxanne is a ridiculous, lighthearted satire on COVID set in the future, so please view it through that lens. Our second play is an adaptation of The Monkey's Paw, originally a short story written by W.W. Jacobs. We've updated it to take place in modern times rather than its original setting in 1902. Before we begin the shows, I have a few housekeeping items for you. Please keep your mask on for the entire performance and refrain from moving your chairs. At this time, please make sure you turn off any cellular devices. Please don't use any flash photography as it's a distraction to the performers. Please be aware there are a few light cues in both shows with moments of flashing lights. Restrooms are located in the lobby, but please do your best to avoid the lobby during the performance. The lobby doors are really noisy when they're opened, and it disrupts the performance. Our performance tonight runs without an intermission. The total length of the performance should run just under an hour. Emergency exits are located at the front and the rear of the auditorium, and the emergency lights will stay on above the doors throughout the show. Again, thank you for being here tonight, and please enjoy the show.
Grandpa, it's been so long since I visited. Why did Mom say I couldn't see you anymore?
I don't know, Cam.
Well, there has to be a reason.
Cam, it's bedtime. Good night.
But I'm not tired. Can you tell me one of your famous stories?
No, Cam, if you don't go to bed, the COVID bugs might get you.
Grandpa, I'm old enough to know that the COVID bugs aren't real. Grandpa, please, just one story. I promise I'll go to bed right after.
All right. Did I ever tell you how your grandmother died?
What? Grandma's not dead. When you picked me up, you said she just went to the store. Grandpa, are you lying to me again?
You'll wake her spirit.
Honey, I forgot to get flour. I'll be back.
You hear that, Grandpa? Grandma's just in the kitchen.
No, Cam, her spirit lives within these walls.
Well, then we need to break down the walls.
Cam, she's dead.
Okay, fine. I believe you. But only because grandfathers drink wise waters.
What does that even mean?
No clue. But Officer Newton said it, so it just has to be true.
I think you should stop hanging out with the town police officers.
Ugh, I cannot breathe. This mask is so tight.
You know, the only reason we still have to wear masks is because of the virus of 2020. We just can't trust the air anymore.
Because someone decided to eat a bat?
That's what we think. And trust me, if they didn't, your grandmother definitely would have.
It's the same thing every day. I'm either cleaning, stocking the shelves, or screaming at the customers who don't follow my rules, which I like to call wows. Wear a mask, only one customer in the store at a time, wash your hands, and stay 6 feet apart. I can be such a germaphobe sometimes.
Welcome to Covey's, where we protect you from what you started. How may I help you today? Morning, Roxy. I just came here to pick up a mask and some Germ-X.
Make sure you applied hand sanitizer before entering. There are consequences to that.
I'd hate to break it to her, but this virus is a scam. She's worried for nothing.
Georgia, what in the world are you wearing?
Khakis?
No, on your face.
Oh, this is my homemade mask. I designed it myself with a little bit of help from my grandma, of course. But it's very convenient for the times when I don't have a real mask.
That's not going to keep the germs away. Put on a real mask or get out of my store. I just got those. Do you know how long it takes to unpackage each mask without touching them?
It's unsanitary for them to be out anyways, and I could just pay for this one. Oh! It burns! It burns!
Next time, you should sanitize!
Are you sure you aren't lying to me?
I promise. Georgia was a good person.
Was?
When I walked into that store, I was furious with your grandmother.
Wait, why were you there? Did she spray you too? Grandpa, you can't breathe in the chemicals!
Cam, calm down. I was the boss of the business. She couldn't just douse me in Lysol.
I mean, she could.
But I didn't let her. Too bad Georgia didn't see it coming.
Georgia, may your Lysol disinfected soul rest in peace.
One customer in the store at a time. Wash your hands. Stay 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. One customer in the store at a time. Wash your hands and stay 6 feet apart.
Roxanne, what is this?
Only one customer in the store at a time.
I'm no expert. But she doesn't seem like much of a customer right now.
Back away from the circle of sanitation, or you'll be the next sacrifice.
What did I tell you about wasting our cleaning products?
Don't interfere with my ritual, or I will have to contact the manager.
I am the manager!
Caleb? Oh, I wasn't expecting you today. Maybe you should have called in before you came here.
And maybe you should find a different job. Preferably not a janitor.
killed you too?
Yep. And we went on our first date at Quarantino's just after that.
I thought you said she died.
That I ate by myself because she died of the virus in 2024.
There is no way she got the virus. She was always so sanitary. There's something you're not telling me.
Nope. That's it. Good night.
The line at the store was absolutely ridiculous. You should have seen it.
A ghost!
What? I'm not a ghost. Ah! Caleb, are you telling her one of your made-up stories again?
Grandpa!
This is why we haven't seen her in 2 years.
No, that was your fault. You tried to cook her alive.
No, I didn't. She wanted a good place to hide when you two were playing hide and seek.
The oven? Really?
Caleb, I have a weapon.
He told me about how you killed Georgia with Lysol.
Caleb, are you trying to get her taken away again?
Why'd you do it, Grandma?
Because she tried to give me money that was covered in disease. I wasn't getting that virus.
But Grandpa said you got the virus.
Oh, no, honey. There's only one way that I'm going down. And that is getting trampled by a herd of llamas. But anyway, how was I supposed to know the disinfectant was toxic? I didn't know it would kill her. I'll get it.
I wonder who's here.
I invited Officer Newton to come hang out.
You called the cops?
Miss Monroe, you are under arrest for the disinfecting of Georgia Garcia.
Are you kidding me? I don't even own a Lysol spray bottle.
Thanks, Cammy. We've been trying to find the culprit for years.
Why, you called the cops, didn't you?
Well, what did you expect, Grandma? You killed someone with Lysol. That is a criminal offense, and you deserve to be in prison.
This is all your fault. When I get free, you are next.
Roxanne, don't make this harder than it should be.
You'll never catch me alive!
So, what did you take away from your bedtime story?
I learned why I can't come over anymore, and that there are serious consequences to not following the rules of sanitation.
Maybe if you all learn to be more sanitary, we could
trust
the air
again.
Good night.
So while the kids are transitioning in for the second show, there's just some people we'd like to thank tonight. We'd like to thank our administrators, especially Principal David Dustin. He was really supportive, in fact, encouraged us to have a live show with a live audience and a live stream. So we're really thankful that he was able to work with us and help us make this happen tonight, that the kids could have a live performance. Thanks. We'd also like to thank Heather Schulman. She provided our kids with tasty treats and stress desserts for the past couple of days so that they had some snacky things. And we'd like to thank Sean Lucas for doing tickets and seating tonight, and Heather Lindstad. She's worked real magic with the audience logistics and being able to get as many families in here as possible so the kids could have like a packed audience. Nick Handy and Alex Trombley, they have had incredible patience and extraordinary attention to detail with the lights, the sound, and our live stream to keep our performances looking as professional as they can. And Jen Horn, who's our backstage drama mama, also fed our kids a pasta dinner this week and helps out backstage with our props and sets and kiddos, so thank you. The Baileys and the Hampsons, thank you so much, providing Tech Week dinners for our kids so they had food in their bellies on these longer nights. The PE and custodial staff, the PE teachers, thank you so much. You let us hijack the Pratt for a week, and the custodial staff has done an incredible job of keeping it clean and washing the stage and making sure that everything was spick and span for tonight. So we appreciate you. Last, we have parents and guardians. Thank you so, so much. You've ridden with us through like a pretty crazy year, and you've been really supportive of your kids, and we know we've kept them from you really late this week, so thank you so much for supporting the arts and for supporting your kids and being here tonight. And then the last group we'd like to thank is the kids. You know, school is winding down, and we've asked them to ramp up, and they've worked really hard, and they've rode the wave of drama with us this year as we had to cancel things and reschedule things. They've been incredibly resilient, and we're really proud of them. So without further ado, the monkey's paw.
Aha, Herbert. I got you. I think.
Oh, you're a quick one, aren't you?
Mean to say she's beaten you at last?
Lord, no. Why, she's overlooked.
I see it. Let me have that back.
Not a chance. Rules of the game.
You're such a stickler for the rules. You turn what ought to be a fun, relaxing...
Don't talk so much. You'll set her off her game.
Not her.
Geez, it's windy out, isn't it?
I'm listening. Check.
I doubt that Sergeant Major Morris will come tonight.
Mate.
That's the worst of living so far out in the boonies. Your friends can't come for a quiet chat, and you stress yourself out over a silly chess.
Don't worry. Morris will turn up all right.
Of all the beastly, slushy, out-of-the-way places to live in, Pathaway is a bog, and the road's a mess. What's the highway department thinking of? That's what I'd like to know. Because this is the only house on the road that it doesn't matter if nobody can get near it, I suppose.
Never mind. Perhaps you win tomorrow.
Perhaps I'll... There. You always know what's going on inside my head, don't you, dear?
Ought to after 54 years, Joan.
And besides, it's not such a bad place after all. Why, it's one of the few colonial houses left near Monadnock. None of your McMansions. Homey, I call it. And so do you. We wouldn't have bought it.
Nice job I made of that one, too. With $100,000 still owed on it.
I'll work that off in no time with the raise that is promised to me. Within 3 years.
If you don't get married.
Not me. Not that sort.
I really wish you would, Herbert. You're such a catch.
Most of the time, Mother. And besides, I don't have time for girls with all the hours I'm putting in. I've got lots of sparks flying to those machines I spend so much time with.
I lay awake at night often and think, if Herbert took a nap and let his, what do you call them, generators run down, then we'd all be in the dark without power. Lord, then where would we be?
Joke. And me out of a job. Pretty twisted sense of humor.
Is that someone at the door?
That's him. That's the Sergeant Major.
What kind of stories he's got for us tonight?
Don't let the door slam, Joan.
Come in, quick! It's as much as I can do to hold it against the wind.
Awful, awful. And a mile up the road by the cemetery, it's even worse. Wind's enough to blow the hair right off your head.
Give me your coat.
If I was visiting anyone but you, Joan.
Goodness, so cold you must be. Come to the fire.
Beverly, my dear, how are you? You, son. Not back on the shift yet, huh?
No, sir. Night shift. I go in half an hour.
Thank you, Beverly. Bit better than my usual rations, huh?
What, no umbrellas?
Umbrellas? Ha! Did you hear that? Umbrellas. Yes, and spare galoshes and hot water bottles, too. I'm sorry, my dear, but it's very clear you were never a soldier.
Don't tease her. She didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I know it, and I'm not offended by it either. No, Beverly, hardship. Hardship's the soldier's lot. Starvation, fever, you get yourself shot.
Well, you don't look to have taken much harm. Except...
That I got these for. You know, tough. Thomas Morris is tough. And sober. What's this now?
Put your nose in it. You'll see.
Whiskey? No, I said I'd never. But seeing the sort of night, to another 1,000 years.
Same to you, and many of them.
What, not you?
No, it's not that I don't want to be sociable, but it doesn't go with my work. Not even a little bit. I've got to keep a cool head, a still hand, and a steady eye. The life of a lineman, that's just a slip away.
Oh, don't, Herbert.
Oh, don't be so afraid.
Oh, you electricians, you. Sort of magicians you are. Light says you, and light there is. And power says you, and the trams go whizzing. And knowledge says you, and the lines go humming to the end of the world. Still something like magic.
Right, magic. No such thing as magic. Simple tricks and superstition.
Of course there is, I tell you. I've seen it.
Oh, come on, such as what? Prove it.
I've seen a man take a basket, empty as this here glass.
Hand it over, Morris.
Which was not my intention, but I'll use it for illustration anyways.
Well, I've seen the basket trick, and I've read how it was done. Why, I could do it myself with a bit of practice. Ladle out something stronger.
I'm not so sure you could handle anything stronger.
Okay, boomer.
You mean to say you doubt my word?
No, he's only messing with you. You shouldn't, Herbert.
Herbert always was one for a bit of fun.
Yes, well, you won't be getting any more stories out of me.
Nonsense, old friend. Don't be upset about a bit of fun. What's that you were telling me the other day about a monkey's paw or something?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Monkey's paw?
You were telling me.
I said it's nothing. What, empty again? Look, that's just how absent-minded I get when I think of the paw.
You said you always carried it on you.
That I do. For fear of what might happen if I didn't.
There.
Well, what's it for?
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you.
I will. Every word.
Really now. Magic. Don't you laugh.
I'm not. Got it on you now?
Of course.
Let's see it then.
Here.
Thank you. Let's see here. It's nothing really. Just a dried up old bit of paw, all nice and mummified. Here.
Ew.
Give us a look. Why, it's all dried up.
Of course it is. I said it was mummified, you clod.
Listen to that wind.
And what might there be special about it?
Well, that there paw has a spell put upon it.
Oh, really?
So you see, there was this old man who'd sat in the same spot going on, 10 or 15 years. And you see, he wanted to show that fate ruled people. Everything was cut and dry from the beginning, so to speak. There weren't no getting away from it either. And if you tried to, you caught it hot. And so he put a spell on this here bit of paw, and it could have been anything, mind you. Marble, book, what have you. He chose this bit of paw so that any 3 people could each have their 3 wishes. But, mind you, excuse me, those 3 people would come to wish that they had not been granted.
Shh, don't.
But how could the wishes be granted?
Well, he didn't say. Just that it had happened so naturally you might think it a coincidence.
Why haven't you tried it, sir?
I have.
You've had your 3 wishes.
Each and every one.
Were they granted?
Unfortunately.
Has anybody else wished?
There was one guy before me. And now I'm not sure what his first 2 wishes were for. But the third was for death. That's how I got the paw.
Well, seems to me all you gotta do is wish for something that can't have any bad luck about it.
Morris, if you've had your 3 wishes, then it's no good to you now. So what do you keep it for?
Oh, I don't know. Just wouldn't feel right to get rid of it, you know? You see, some people just plain don't believe in it. And others want to pay first and try later and that sort of deal.
If you could have another wish granted, would you?
I don't know. I just...
No! Of course not! Damn if I would!
What are you doing?
Let it burn! Let the damn thing burn!
Let it burn, Joan.
No, if you don't want it, then I'll keep it.
That's it! I've cleared my hands of it! I threw it in the fire! Whatever happens now is your burden to bear!
I'm going to keep it. What do you say, Herbert?
Say keep it if you want to. Stuff and nonsense anyhow.
Ah, yes. Stuff and nonsense. I wish I were certain.
That's not the way.
Then what is the way?
Don't have anything to do with it, sweetheart.
That's what I say, ma'am. But if she were to go wishing like that, something very unfortunate might happen! You take it in your right hand, raise it up, and speak aloud what you want to happen. But I warn you!
Sounds like the Arabian Nights. Maybe you could wish me another set of hands?
Right you are, sweetheart. I wish my wife...
For the love of God, if you have to wish, then do it for something sensible! Look, I don't want to be here. I'm all worked up. Where is my coat?
I'm coming your way to the works in a minute. Won't you wait?
No, I don't want to be here when you wish, and wish you will as soon as my back's turned!
There, Morris. Don't you fret about us. Now, here.
No, I won't.
Yes. You will.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Put it in the fire.
Well, if there's no more than that than his other stories, I doubt we'll make much of it.
Did you give him anything for it?
He didn't want it, but I made him take it.
Goodness, you shouldn't throwing your money around.
I wonder.
What?
I wonder if we should just chuck it on the fire.
Of course not. Why, we're all gonna be rich and famous and happy.
Throw it on the fire after you just paid good money for it? You Claude.
Wish to be an empress. Then you can't be teased.
Get you. Come over. Oh,
That doesn't bother.
Hey, quiet down there. I wonder. I don't know what to wish for, and that's a fact. I seem to have all I could ever want.
Well, you'd be quite happy if the house were paid off, wouldn't you? Go ahead. Wish for $100,000. That should just do it.
Should I?
Here, I'll play slow music.
no, don't do it, Joan.
Now, Mom.
I will! I wish for $100,000! Ah!
What's the matter?
It moved. As I wished, it twisted in my hand like a snake.
Nonsense. Why? It's stiff as a bone.
Must have been your imagination.
Well, I don't see any money. Doubt I ever will.
Thank God. Nothing happened, but it gave me a shock.
11:30. I'm on at midnight. I should be going.
Well, I'm off to bed. Don't be late in the morning.
I'll walk home as usual. It does me good. I'll be with you about 9. Don't wait, though.
You know your mom never waits.
And I expect that you'll find the money tied up in the bed in the morning.
It moved, Herbert.
And a monkey hanging from the bedpost, watching you count the money.
I wish you wouldn't joke, Herbert.
All right. Good night. Lord, what weather!
The bolt's stiff again. I'll have to have Herbert look at it in the morning. Bev? Beverly!
What? What's the matter?
It's nothing. I saw faces in the fire.
You must be tired. Come to bed.
What a morning Herbert's got for walking home.
What time's it? 8:45. He'll be home soon. He's off at 8.
Takes him a half an hour to change and wash. He must be just by the cemetery now.
He'll be home in like 10 minutes.
So, what's for breakfast?
$100,000.
I wish you wouldn't joke like that.
Well, here's the dirty monkey's paw. Silly thing. The idea of us listening to such nonsense.
The Sergeant Major and his stories. I suppose all old soldiers are alike.
Come and eat. You know Herbert hates for us to wait. But how could wishes be granted nowadays?
You've been thinking about it all night, have you?
Me? You're the one who kept me up all night with your tossing and mumbling.
I had a bad night, Bev.
Here's a storm, I expect. How it blew.
I didn't hear it. I was asleep and not asleep, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But what's all that rubbish? If the wish is granted, it'll make you unhappy. How could $100,000 hurt you anyways?
It might fall on my head in a lump. I don't see it any other way. And I try to bear that. Though, mind you, Morris said it will all happen so naturally, you might think it was just a coincidence.
Well, it hasn't happened. That's all I know. It isn't going to. And how you can just sit here and talk about it. What's that?
The mailman, of course.
He's brought a letter, Joan.
What did you think he'd bring? Presents from Santa?
Joan, suppose
what?
Suppose it's the $100,000.
Here, why don't you get it?
It's thick, Joan, and it's got something crisp inside.
Who's it for?
You.
Well, hand it over then. The idea. What a superstitious old woman you are. Where are my glasses?
Let me open it.
Don't you touch it. Where are my glasses?
And don't let sudden wealth sour your temper, Joan.
Will you find my glasses?
Here, Joan, here. Now be careful and don't tear it.
Tear what?
If it's money, Joan.
You've gone dotty. I mean, you're making me nervous. Ma'am, enclosed, please find the receipt for interest of $100,000 on your house. Duly received.
It's the mortgage receipt. That's what comes to listening to tipsy old soldiers.
What does?
You thought there was money in it.
No, I didn't. I said all along
How
that...
Herbert will laugh when I tell him.
You're not going to tell him. You're going to keep your mouth shut. That's what you're going to do.
Serves you right, I'll tell him. You know you like his fun. See how he laughed when you said that the paw moved in your hand last night?
It did move. I swear it did.
You thought it did.
I'm telling you, it did. There was no thinking about it. I mean, you saw how it upset me, didn't you? Didn't you? Why don't you listen? What is it?
Nothing.
Do you see Herbert coming?
No.
He's about due. What is it?
Nothing. Only a woman. She looks very official.
So what? Sit down and eat.
She stood at the garden gate as if she wanted to come in, but couldn't seem to make up her mind. She keeps looking around.
Oh, go on. You're seeing things.
She's going... No, she's coming back.
Don't let her see you peeping.
She's looking at the house. She has her hand on the latch. Nope, she's going away. Joan, she looks like a lawyer.
And what of it?
You only laugh again, but suppose she's coming about the money.
You're not to mention it again. You're a foolish old woman. Sit down and eat your breakfast. Where is she now?
Gone down the road. No, she came back. She seems to have made up her mind. Here she comes. Oh, Joan, I look a fright.
What's it matter? She's made a mistake. Come to the wrong house.
Is this the White residence?
Yes, please step in. You must excuse our untidiness in the room all anyhow, and Joan in her robe. Oh, Joan.
Good morning. My name is Sampson.
Won't you please be seated?
No, thank you.
Fine weather for the time of year.
Yes. My name is Sampson.
Perhaps you wish to see Herbert. He'll be home in a minute. Here's his breakfast waiting.
No. I've come from the electrical works.
Oh, well, you might have come with him.
No, I've come alone.
Is anything the matter?
I was asked to come.
Herbert, is he hurt? Is he hurt?
There now. Don't you jump to conclusions. Let the woman speak. You haven't brought bad news, I'm sure, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Is he hurt? Badly?
Very badly.
Oh, Joan.
Is he in pain?
He is not in pain.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for that. Do you mean? No. Oh, no.
Go on, ma'am.
He was telling his friends a story, something that happened here last night. He was laughing and wasn't noticing, and, well, you know.
The current caught him, yes, and he's the only child, so it's hard, ma'am. It's very hard.
The company wished me to convey their sincere sympathy with you in your great loss.
Our great loss.
I was to say further, I'm only following orders.
Our great loss.
I was to say the company disclaim all responsibility, but in consideration of your son's service, they wish to present you with a certain sum as compensation.
Our great loss. How much?
$100,000.
No! Oh, Joan! No! No!
Beverly?
Yes?
Where are you?
At the window,
What are you doing?
looking up the road.
What's the use, Beverly? What's the use?
That's where the cemetery is. That's where we've laid him.
A week from today. What time is it?
I don't know.
We don't take much account of time now, do we?
Why should we? He doesn't come home. He'll never come home again. There's nothing to think about.
Or to talk about. Come away from the window. You'll get cold.
It's colder where he is.
Gone. Forever.
And taken all of our hopes with him.
And all of our wishes.
Yeah, and all of our... Joan!
Beverly, for God's sake, what's the matter?
The paw! The monkey's paw!
Where is it? What's wrong with
You
it?
haven't gotten rid of it, have you?
I haven't seen it since... Why?
Find it! I want it!
Here it is. What do you want of it?
Why didn't I think of it? Why didn't you think of what?
Think of what?
The other wishes.
What?
We've only had one.
Beverly, wasn't that enough?
No, we'll have one more. Take it and wish.
And wish what?
Wish our boy alive again.
Good God, are you mad?
Take it and wish my boy. Oh, my boy.
Get to bed. Get to sleep. You don't know what you're saying.
We had the first one granted, so why not the second?
Beverly, he's been dead for 10 days, and I only knew him by his clothing. If you weren't allowed to see him then, how could you bear to see him now?
I don't care. Take it and wish.
I won't touch it.
Take it and wish.
Beverly.
Wish.
I wish my son alive again. Ah!
Nothing.
Thank God. Thank God.
Nothing along the whole length of the road, and nothing left in our lives, Joan.
Except each other, Beverly, and the memories.
We can't start again. We're too old. We were only alive in him. Now there's nothing left in our lives except for emptiness and darkness.
It won't be for long, Beverly. There's that to look forward to.
Every minute's long now, Joan.
I can't bear the darkness.
It's dreary, dreary.
Where's the flashlight?
I'm not a mother anymore.
There now. Going up to bed. I'll be up in a minute.
Whether I'm here or in bed, I'm with my boy. I'm with her. What's that?
It's a rat. The house is full of them. Stop! What are you going to do?
I forgot the cemetery was a mile away. It's my boy. Let me go open the door.
For God's sake!
Let me open the door.
Don't open the door!
Let me go.
Think what you might see!
Do you think I fear the child I bore? Let me go.
Don't do it, Beverly!
I'm coming, Herbert. I'm coming.
The paw. The monkey's paw!
Joan, the top won't stuck. Come help quick.
There's a wish left.
I'm coming, Herbert.
Where is it? Where did it fall?
Do you hear him knocking? That is our child.
I can't find it. I can't find.
Are you going to keep your child from his home?
For God's sake!
Oh, it's moving. It's moving. Your mother's opening to you, Herbert.
I wish him dead. I wish him dead and at peace.